When you think of amazing food in Europe, you typically think of Italy, Spain, or France. But watch this video to see why the Netherlands has loads to offer as we fill our bellies on a foodie weekend in Amsterdam.
We are in Amsterdam, and in this video we're going to try so much good food.
This is going to be the one-stop food vlog you can check out to get all the good street eats as well as some nicer restaurants both in Amsterdam, and we've got a couple that are a little bit outside as well, so not as touristy.
We have been researching this trip for 3 years because it did get COVID cancelled a few times, so I really do feel like we're going to be visiting the very best of the best.
Well, let's go along now and try some food.
Yum! We have a Stroopwafel, which is the type of waffle that Amsterdam is known for. It looks amazing. It is so warm. We went to one of the oldest places in Amsterdam. It's called Egsdorf. It's two really thinly pressed little pieces of waffle with hot caramel inside.
We can eat it before it gets cold.
Yeah. Yum.
It looks like it's going to be the outside of like an ice cream cone or something. What does it taste like?
That is really true. Yum. I wasn't sure if anything could beat like a standard waffle with Nutella on it.
Some.
But I think this might. It's like crumbly.
Crumbly, more, not as crunchy as I thought it would be. It's more crumbly, as you said.
And even though it's got this caramel in it, it's not too sweet.
That's all I get.
Even though this was our first Stroopwafel, I honestly don't know how anywhere could do it better than Hans Egsdorf. This definitely won't be our last though.
This Windmill brewery was the perfect place to escape the rain and sample some of the beer that the Dutch are so famous for.
On a rainy day, what better place to go than a brewery and sit inside out of the rain and have some beer?
Super cool vibes in here, like bustling. We're in line for some chippies, but it's not that bad of a place to wait.
It's a good view to wait, but the line is incredibly long.
I'm sure they'll be worth it.
So we've got two different types. We've got truffle with parmesan cheese, and we got a peanut sauce with some onions and some mayo. They look and smell incredible. I don't know how I'm going to eat these when I'm holding them both in my hands. Dip some peanut sauce, some onion. Really interesting with the peanut sauce. You think like peanut chicken with like chicken skewers or something like that. So really interesting with the peanut sauce.
Are they super
and the
crispy?
Onions. They are super crispy because they're twice cooked or thrice cooked. Yeah, yum. I'm so hungry.
Next up, we've got truffle parmesan. Really generous amount of sauce and cheese. Wow. Did not skimp on the truffle. Really, really strong truffle. Delicious shaved parmesan. Chips are so crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside. Yum. They had a little cheese souffle and I couldn't resist. It looks so crunchy.
What is a cheese souffle?
They don't usually look like this. It's got like a really bitey cheese in there. It's crispy. It's actually divine, really delicious.
Can I have a bite?
No. We are at one of the top-rated restaurants in Amsterdam. It is called Pesca. It's seafood and there's no menu, so let's go check it out.
This may be the dinner that I was most excited for. The concept of this restaurant is so cool, where we started by choosing our seafood at the market at the front and then stepped into the wine cellar to choose our bottle of wine to pair with the meal. For entrees, we had some of the best fried squid I've ever eaten, and some delicious seared scallops in a cream sauce.
For the mains, we had a perfectly simple but incredible whole grilled fish and a super buttery clam pasta. The only problem with this meal was that we ate far too much and we didn't have any room left for dessert.
So we just finished our meal at Pesca.
And it was such a great meal, highly recommend. It's like going to a fish market where you select all your fresh seafood, then you go to the wine section and choose your wine and sit down and have an amazing meal.
One of the most unique dining experiences I've ever had, like 10 out of 10 recommend.
Definitely check it out when you're in Amsterdam.
We were in need of a morning coffee and a sweet treat to start the day, so thought this would be the perfect time to check out St. Jean Bakery.
We just had a delicious breakfast at the famous St. Jean Bakery. It was so, so good. We had this thing that was almost like a banana bread, but it was pistachio and raspberry, and then a twice baked hazelnut chocolate croissant. They say it's the best pastries in Amsterdam, and I think they would be pretty damn hard to beat. A good dirty chai as well.
We are on our way to the Noordermarket, which was recommended to us by our Airbnb host. It's a bit more of a local feel and smaller market here in Amsterdam that's run on Saturdays.
She said that's where she does her groceries, so we're excited to see how the locals do it, but it actually looks massive for a smaller field market.
Yeah, we've just got here now. Looks like maybe it goes for a kilometre or so directly down the middle of the street, so not
Lots
small.
of tasty little stalls for us to stop in.
Let's see what we're going to grab for some breakfast.
Yum. We just got these little mini pancakes from the Noordmarket. I used to get them when I was little and they were called Dutch pancakes.
So I think they're actually called profiters, I think is the pronunciation. Don't quote me on that. But it took all our might not to get another Stroopwafel because we fell in love with that yesterday. But here we are, let's try the Dutch pancakes. We got it with some Nutella on it, so not the traditional style. Usually it's just dusted with some icing sugar and butter. But
It's like way better than a normal sized pancake, or crispy on the outside, buttery, fluffy in the middle. Yum.
So I've had one so far. Where are the rest of them gone? Are you going to save me one? So I was super excited for a lot of food here in Amsterdam. The waffles, the frits. One thing that I wasn't super excited for is the raw herring, which I'm about to try now. It smells okay. I've got it with some raw onions and some pickles. So let's see. A lot more flavour with the pickles and the raw onions coming through than the fish, to be honest. It's okay. I wouldn't rush to get it again, but not as offensive as I thought it was going to be.
We had to try it because apparently Amsterdam was born because of herring. So people came here to be herring fishermen. So it felt wrong not to give it a crack.
Still trying to get it down. Really unique texture, the fish. I won't be finishing all of that.
I really needed to get the taste of that raw herring out of my mouth, so I found something a little bit more up my alley, a delicious cooked ham roll.
Around the 9 Streets precinct, there are so many funky wine bars, and though it was a tough choice, we chose Bar Parry for our evening tipple. This was a great spot as they had some super tasty natural wines. We've come a little bit out of Amsterdam to a cute little wine bar called Gitane. We're just having a little pre-drink outside before going inside for dinner.
We started with some delicious polenta chips and creamy burrata. The highlight of the meal though was definitely the dry-aged beef with brown butter sauce.
That steak is amazing with the brown butter sauce. Perfect.
At least this time we had left some room for dessert, and thank goodness we did because this deconstructed peanut brittle dish was absolutely incredible.
So we just finished our meal at Gitane and it was actually really, really good from start to finish. The steak was perfectly juicy, tender, had amazing brown butter sauce, and this peanut butter dessert was incredible. And Grace had some really cool wines with it as well, but I only had one. I was being behaved instead of some...
Sorry if you can hear the traffic, but
a bit noisy going past.
The vibes were also just like so cool, so trendy, hip. Yeah, cool place to spend some time.
Yeah, like get out of the centre of Amsterdam, go somewhere a little bit more off the beat track. It was a really super local feel in there. Lots of people that seem to be on dates, so a romantic venue to go to with nice candlelit dinner and amazing food.
It was our last day and we still had some traditional dishes that we wanted to try and definitely hadn't had enough cheese yet. So we headed to Cafe Gollem's for a beer, cheese platter and some delicious fried Dutch food.
We have a little bit of a spread here with some Dutch cheeses, but the main thing that I was yet to try here on the food tour and my time in Amsterdam was the bitterballen, which it's a meat stew deep fried in a crispy sort of crumb, dipped in a little bit of mustard sauce. That crunch and nice flavour inside. I can't believe I waited till the end of my trip to try these because I would have been eating them every day. So delicious. Highlight of the meal so far.
So although it's not as famous as Italy or France, the Amsterdam food scene really packed a punch and had fantastic beers and wines to match. If you want to see what else there is to do in this beautiful city, check out our other Amsterdam vlog.